David, delighted that you could make it today. An historic occasion.
It certainly is.
What are your views?
Well, it's been a long time coming. It's the fact that we're actually in the premises where everything started. 23 magicians getting together in one of the many restaurants in London, and they picked this one, Pinoli. And I used to talk about this place without realizing that the name Pinoli is still up near the roof in the cement, big name Pinoli, and so is the building next to it. So it must have been a huge restaurant, and they couldn't have known the significance of what this would have. That would be 111 years later on to celebrate it. But it's so nice to get a plaque up recognizing the Magic Circle, because it is in the public knowledge, and it would be very nice for us to be able to say, well, you can go and find the plaque of where it all started. And also, they have hundreds of thousands of people walking past here and who are interested in plaques, and they will say, oh look, that's where the Magic Circle started, and maybe they'll then find a link to come and visit us at our premises, which of course I call the Centre of the Magic Arts, because that's what I really wanted it to be, a centre for the magic arts, meaning it's open for any magician from around the world. We have our museums, we have our libraries, we have our meeting rooms and a wonderful theatre, and it's very central. It's 2 minutes from Euston Station, so it's great that the public can actually have a look around there, because my feeling has always been to keep magic alive. And in fact, when I finished being the president, I immediately formed a foundation for promoting the art of magic, which is a non-profit organization. The usual gag is it wasn't meant to be, but it really wasn't intended to be. It's just I had a lot of sponsors, and all the money we got in went out to promote magic in every possible way all around the world, and it's worked very well. But this occasion is something that I'm sure we'll all remember, and I encourage any magician to just come down and have a look around.
Absolutely. And Magic Circle, as you say, you've been a phenomenal part of its history. When were you originally a member? When did you join?
I joined in January 1948. Then I think I was the youngest man ever to get the MIMC, because I was professional by that time. And then I served on the council for many years, never imagining that I would be president. In fact, I was a late runner, and when our previous president, Francis White, died, after being there for 31 years, people just hadn't thought about it. And then all kinds of names were put forward, and it was, believe it or not, there were about 40 names proposed, including some very unlikely ones, and then it came down to about 12, and then down to 4. There was Paul Daniels, Ali Bongo, Gildini, and myself. And I was literally the last runner. And when you asked any magician, particularly young magicians abroad, where Ali Bongo had been at these conventions, who's going to become president, because it was everybody was talking about it, they all said Ali Bongo, because he was the best known. When you asked anybody in this country, it was always Paul Daniels, because he was the most famous. And out of respect, some of the older members would have said Gildini, because he'd been around a long time. And then to my surprise, I won it by a large majority. And the first person to come over to congratulate me was Paul Daniels, and the second one was Ali Bongo. And Ali was incredibly supportive throughout my 9 years. He really was. And I was talking to Gordon Grayson just a few minutes ago, where he remembers that I met him, and then the next time I knew his name. Well, I didn't do this for effect, and I didn't do it as a memory man. I was genuinely interested in all the members, and I knew them personally, and they even came to me with their personal problems over the years. And, I was the first elected president and I take pride in that because that was an unusual thing to happen.
And certainly one of the amazing things is whenever you come down to Magic Circle, even now, huge amount of respect and love for this.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's mutual because, as I said a few times on stage at the Circle, this is my second home. Actually, it was probably during those years my first home because I spent more time there than at home because, you know, we had to have meetings with architects and heating engineers and council and the arts council. And then we had our normal council meetings, then we had Magic Circle meetings, so I spent more time there than at home. But the end result was wonderful.
And you were the catalyst behind getting our effectively long-term home, weren't you? Tell me about that process.
Well, I can't say that, I can't claim that. We have been looking for a permanent home for many years. And we spent 10 years at the Victory Services Club, and we really were pretty desperate, and we looked at all kinds of premises which weren't suitable or too expensive, because obviously anything in the west end of London is extremely expensive. And eventually we found Stevenson Way, and I remember I was so excited, I wanted to see it, but it was late at night, and the windows were all misted up with you know, it hadn't been cleaned for years. It was an old derelict warehouse with lots of machinery in it and a big industrial lift at the back, which took days to get out. It was really amazing. And they had all kinds of little rooms. And the building, if I could just demonstrate, looking at it from sideways, was like that, steps. That was the first floor, the ground floor, second floor was back, third floor. And then we had the idea to actually build out and make it a straight building. And if we hadn't done that, we couldn't have got the theatre at the top. And even when the theatre was built, and I went up into the projection room to look down, I could not believe the height we got and the ability to put a well-equipped theatre there. It was a big thrill. Lots of difficulties, things that I've never talked about, which were unbelievable, but in the end we got there. And one of the things, when we started, we only had a few £100,000. That sounds a lot, but we had about £400,000 that we wanted to spend to redecorate the place. And then the architect and the surveyor said, you need 800,000. And by the time we finished, we'd spent 2.2 million. And within a year, we were debt-free, which is quite something. Of course, I can't take the credit for that. There were many members who contributed, and there were lots of shows and functions we put on. But I did get the money to buy the actual building, because I got that from the Foundation for Sport and the Arts without any condition whatsoever, whereas the Arts Council, who gave us £475,000, we had to spend 250,000 of that just for disabled access and so on. So yes, all in all, it's quite a place of mystery how we managed it, but we did.
Yeah. And one of the highlights of your career, you've had many, obviously from film to television to various other aspects. What are your main highlights? What do you particularly cherish?
I think this moment, talking to you, because at least for the first time we're getting it on record, to say, quite seriously, I go through life thinking every moment's a highlight. Sometimes I have a bad day, sometimes a good day, sometimes I have a fantastic day, but they all have a meaning and they all build your character. And I've had so many highs. I've been extremely lucky because in my life I've met people, world celebrities, royalties, politicians, prime ministers, people you could never meet if you went in show business. And you don't realize at the time. It's only when I look at my scrapbooks and photographs now, I realize what an incredible life I've had thanks to magic, and that's something I'll always be grateful for.
And you must be very proud of your son. I was speaking to Marvin earlier about the phenomenal thing that he's now done. He's taken the next generation, introduced them to magic.
Yes, I am obviously incredibly proud, and he goes to a lot of pain to point out that it's without my help. Admittedly, when he first started, I gave him some advice, and my name used to be on some of the packaging, but I really wasn't involved in the business, and he's built an incredible business up by himself. Well, with my late son, Peter, they formed a fantastic partnership and built it up. So they're now in something like 64 countries, and you can find them in airports and on the plane in their catalogs. Yes, they're doing extremely well. And that, of course, is part of my ambition of promoting magic in every possible way.
And Marvin's been responsible for getting several people involved in magic. What would your advice be to people wanting to start out in the profession?
Well, you certainly couldn't start in a better position than being a demonstrator, because when people come into a shop, they have no idea that they're going to walk out with a magic trick. So it's up to the magician to really fascinate them for a few seconds and then convince them that they want to do this and they abide. But it's a special skill which I haven't got, because I want to demonstrate, I want some showmanship and presentation and take my time with it. But Marvin says, no, you've got to get in there quickly and they'll go and buy it because they want to know how it's done. But the hardest part for magic was to listen to me, because I said, whatever you do, we can't expose the magic. So he stuck to that very religiously, and said his sort of one of his themes is, can you keep a secret? That's on all his boxes. And he encourages people not to tell the secret to others, so that we can keep magic fresh.
A phenomenal career, phenomenal life. How would you like to be remembered?
Well, I think what Gordon said to me earlier on, he said what he appreciated, and lots of other members have said it, that I took a personal interest in people, genuinely, and that it wasn't as president of the Magic Circle, it was really as somebody who was very experienced in the business, passing that on to younger people, not only younger people, but anyone, to encourage them to make their magic dramatic. Don't just do a trick and go on to the next trick. Build it up to a dramatic time, pause, let them appreciate what they've just seen. There should be no hurry to go on to the next trick. And any trick, any small trick, can be presented in that way. So I hope they'll take that to heart and present their magic that way.
David Berglas, it's a real honour. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks.